Good morning, friends. Welcome back. Okay, so today is the last demo session, friends. So whatever doubts you have, whatever questions you have, please try to clear everything before you decide to go with this particular course and with this particular package. Most of you who are coming in this batch at this time, 7 a.m., they have already joined in this package, right? Linux and AWS package or CCNA and CCNA and Linux package, whatever. Okay, so there are a couple of new faces here. So hopefully you can just decide everything today, and then if you're interested, tomorrow they will change the link actually. So you can come with the new link. Okay, fine. So what we did in last 2 days, remember we have seen some very basics of Linux. We know what is the operating system first of all, and then we know what is the history of Linux, right? It all started with the Unix, right? It all started here with these two people, Ken Thompson and Dennis Ritchie. These two people are responsible for designing the source code of Unix. So from this Unix source code only, this guy, Linus Torvalds, he took the idea and he took the, inspiration maybe, and he designed Linux source code. Now for designing Linux source code, what he did, he just provided the Linux source code for free for everyone, with a condition like, if you're using the Linux source code, which is designed by him, you should offer the operating system free to the other people, for the other companies. So the operating system is not only free for, let's say, practicing purpose or for, development purpose or testing purpose. It is free in the production network also, right? It's not only free for a person who is working or learning, it is free in a company also. It's free in a commercial company also. So this particular Linux server operating system is absolutely free every time. Okay, but some charges we have to pay if you're taking this support. So hopefully you understood everything, whatever we have seen about this Unix and Linux history, and we saw the features of Linux as well, right? So these are some of the features. You have to compare the Linux operating system with the Windows operating system for sure. When you compare the Linux operating system with Windows operating system, then only you can say, like, why Linux is so important. Okay, Linux is indeed the backbone of every technology. Linux is indeed the backbone of many applications that are working over the internet. So more than 85% of applications over the internet, they are running on the Linux operating system. Now, which flavor they are using, that's a debatable thing. We can have a separate debate on it. But I can say majority of, applications, they are running either on Ubuntu or let's say Red Hat. So we are learning Red Hat here. That is what we are learning here. So if you know Red Hat, can you work on Ubuntu? Yes. Concept wise, they are same. Commands wise, there can be some differences. So it's not a big deal actually to know all the commands. Okay, fine. So this is what it is, my friend. This is the way the Linux or the distributions of Linux are available. So there are many more distributions. We have seen some major distributions here. I have included Amazon, Oracle, Microsoft Azure, as well as Kali Linux here. But there are many more distributions available here beside the distributions what you see now. There are some hundreds of distributions available over the internet. Fine. So this is your Linux operating system. Now let us try to see how we can make our lab setup. We have to do practice, right? Linux operating system is a practical operating system, means it's a practical course. We have to see loads and loads of practical sets. So how we can practice our server administration commands and server administration services and all those things? There is something called Oracle VirtualBox. By using this Oracle VirtualBox, we can do all the practicals. So this is my Oracle VirtualBox here. I'll explain this in more details, but let me just power on this machine first. There are already few machines I'm using here for different batches. So I have just power on one of the machine there. So within one physical machine, we can add multiple virtual machines. That is the whole concept. I repeat, within one physical machine, we can add multiple virtual machines. Now, what is the difference between a physical machine and virtual machine? Briefly, I'll explain you today. Because, that is a concept that we need to see in more details when we go with our cloud computing concept. Okay, but still briefly, I need to explain you like what is the difference between a physical machine and a virtual machine. So right now, I have just power on my virtual machine, and this virtual machine or a virtual server, you can call it as, this virtual server has a server operating system, and that server operating system is Linux server operating system. So if I just want to connect to this machine, I need to connect in this way. Just enter the username and password. Okay, let me just retype this. I'm typing the password there actually. You cannot see the cursor is moving there, but that is the highest level of security. But still, I'm typing the password. So see here, this is my Linux server. So once you join a company as a Linux administrator across the globe anywhere, when you connect to the server, you will see your screen something like this. Okay, you will not see a root account there. You will see a different account. Let me just show you. Most probably you will see a account with the name, let's say, what are the users I have? Let me just check it. Cat etc slash password. Or let me just say tail. Okay, we have users here with some names. Let me just go with a user like Yuvraj. See, who is connected here? Yuvraj is connected there, right? So to this particular server, a user with the name Yuvraj is connected. Okay, we have few more users here. Let's say Sevak, Sunita. So let me just go with the user account. Let's say Sunita there. THA. Okay, I think Sumita is not having any password, so I'll just say password Sumita. Sunita. Okay, now it is doing something there. Let me just re-enter the password. ABC at the rate 123 is the password I have entered there. Again, I'll say ABC at the rate 123. So hopefully, yeah, this time everything is done successfully. So let's say ABC at the rate 123. See here, what I did here, I have just connected as Sunita user as well. So there is a root user here, which is a main user. But there are few more people working in the company. One person is Yuvraj, who is the administrator in this company. Okay, as well as Sunita, who is also the administrator in this company. So multiple people can connect to one server. This is called multitasking. Multiple people can connect to the server and they can do multiple tasks. So multitasking and multi-user is the operating system. So this setup is already there in my computer. Okay, so I can do all the practicals that I need to learn in this Linux server administration by using this particular setup. But the question here is how you can make this setup in your machine. So that is what we'll try to understand today. Okay, I'm not going to use the same server. The server is already there. It is already created for some other batch. I'm using the server in that particular batch. But for your batch, I have to create a different server. And for your practicals, you have to do the same setup in your machine. Okay, so let us try to understand how we can use this Oracle VirtualBox, or let us try to understand the concept of the virtualization. Virtualization is a very important technology, my friend. Virtualization is indeed the backbone of cloud computing. Okay, so I just need to explain you more things about virtualization in coming classes. But as of now, let me just try to keep this session short and sweet. And let's see what exactly is this virtualization. See, when you take a server, why we need to take a server? We need to take a server so that we can install this server operating system, right? Remember this particular image we have seen here. Let me just go to this PPT here. Remember, I asked you to remember this layers forever. Whether you're going with the server administration or cloud computing or anything else, you just need to remember these layers. First layer is your hardware layer here, friends. Then we have the operating system layer here. And on top of the operating system, we are installing some applications. So the main thing here is to install a application, we need a operating system. And to install the operating system, we need certain resources. What are the resources we need? CPU, RAM, storage, NIC card, and few other resources. But the most important resources are CPU, RAM, and the storage. If you're not having any one of these resource, or if you're not having the sufficient resources also, then your machine will not work. Your operating system will not work. So we need to have these resources for sure. Now the question here is from where you can take these resources. The first way of taking these resources is we can simply go with a server, which is a completely physical server. Physical server. But how many of us can afford to have a physical server? How many of us know actually about a physical server, how it looks, how we need to configure, how we need to manage and all those things? We know we don't have any idea, right? We don't have much idea. Okay, so you can take a physical server to do all the practicals, or the best way is actually to go with virtual server. 99% people who are learning Linux administration today across the globe, they will use a virtual server. Maybe there is a 1% group of people who have, sufficient money with them, or you have sufficient resources available with them. So they may go with a physical server to do practice. But 99% cases, we go with the virtual server. Okay. Now, what is this virtual server and what is a physical server? Virtual server, a physical server, we know very well. Physical server is just a physical box like your CPU or a laptop. It is a physical machine which we can use. But the concept that we need to understand today is the virtual server concept. What exactly is this virtual server concept? How we can design or how we can create a virtual server. See, virtual server we can create in our laptops as well as in our desktops. Anywhere we can create our virtual server. There are certain prerequisites we need to have to create a virtual server. Okay, so let me just properly design everything for you. This is my, let's say, a laptop or maybe a desktop, whatever machine you are having. So this laptop or a desktop will have certain hardware there, right? What are the major hardware components you need? CPU, storage, and RAM. These are the three major hardware components you need. Okay. And in majority of cases, whatever laptop or whatever desktop you're using currently, I can say this with 100% guarantee, my friend, your CPU and storage will be more than sufficient for you. Normally, you're using CPU, which is i3 or above i3, isn't it? i3 or above i3. Normally, the storage we are using is at least 500 GB nowadays, right? Less than 500 GB is very hard to find. So we have sufficient CPU available with us and we have sufficient storage available with us. But the only problem you can face in your laptop or desktop is about your RAM, random access memory. So I'm expecting like you have minimum 6 GB of RAM. 4 GB of RAM is also sufficient anyway, but if it is 6 GB or above, then it's better. I repeat, in your laptop or a desktop, if you have 6 GB of RAM or above, then it is much better. Your virtual machine performance will be much better and you can do the configuration in much better way. Okay. So like I said, you friends, you need to have a machine with at least 6 GB RAM. Again, I'm repeating 4 GB RAM is also sufficient, but 6 GB RAM is much better. Okay. Now, how to know how much GB RAM is there? Do I need to explain this? Okay, let me just go with this again. So if you want to know how much GB RAM is there, just, right click on your screen. Okay, let me just show you in a different way. Just go to your computer, right click here and just go to properties. Right click in your PC and just go to properties. Once you go to properties there, it will show you all the configuration, right? So in my machine, I have totally 16 GB of RAM. i5 is a processor, and how much GB RAM is there? There is total 16 GB of RAM. 16 GB of RAM is great actually. It is more than enough for me to run literally all the applications that I use regularly. But if you're having 6 GB, that's also more than enough. 4 GB you can manage. 6 GB is good, and above 6 GB, whatever you have, that's great. So at least try to take a laptop or a desktop with 16 GB RAM from now. Like for example, you want to buy a laptop for yourself or for your friends or neighbors or anyone, just try to take a laptop or a desktop with at least 16 GB RAM. Normally, the people, what mistake they do here is they just try to take a laptop with high storage capability. Let's say 1 TB storage, 2 TB storage. Okay, more storage is good to store data, but the performance of your machine is based on CPU and RAM. So normally people take i7 processor, but they just try to go with 8 GB RAM. No, friends, 8 GB RAM is not sufficient. So we have to go with 16 GB RAM if you're planning to go with a new laptop or new desktop. Okay, so done. In my computer, I have sufficient resources available here. Now let us go back to our file here that I'm creating. So here, how much GB RAM I have here, friends? Let us imagine I have only 6 GB RAM. Now, how we can manage things with only 6 GB RAM? Let's see. What we are doing here, friends, we are installing our virtual server, right? We are trying to learn how we can install a virtual server and how we can use a virtual server to do all the practice. Now, the first thing what I have to do here is, in my physical machine, I have an operating system, right? I just need to power on my operating system. See, normally today, people are using either Windows 10 or most probably the Windows 11 operating system, right? Before Windows 10, whatever operating system was available, it is outdated, like Windows 8, Windows 7, Windows XP. All the operating systems are completely outdated. So you're using either Windows 10 or Windows 11 operating system. Okay. Now listen carefully, friends. Once I power on the machine, the first thing my machine will do is it will start the booting process. Means it will load my operating system. In my laptop or desktop, it will load my operating system. So when the operating system is getting loaded, the first thing the operating system will do is it will consume some resources. See, to run a operating system, we need CPU, storage, and RAM. So what operating system will do? It will start consuming the resources. Now, if you go with like Windows 10 operating system in your machine, Windows 10 will consume around 2 GB of random access memory. How much? 2 GB. It can be, in some cases, it can be 3 GB also, but at least, 2 GB of resources will be used by whom? 2 GB of resources will be used by your Windows 10 operating system. Okay. Now, in my physical machine, how much GB RAM is here? In my physical machine, there is totally 6 GB RAM, right? So out of this 6 GB RAM, how much GB RAM is already used now? 2 GB RAM is already used. So how much RAM is remaining now? Remaining is 4 GB. Okay. Available RAM is how much now? Only 4 GB. Physically, 6 GB RAM is available, but my Windows operating system will consume at least 2 GB RAM. So I'm left with only approximately 4 GB RAM. Great. 3 to 4 GB RAM, which is available, is great to install a virtual server. Above 3 and 4 GB, that's much better, but at least 3 to 4 GB should be available there. Okay, I hope you understood the concept till now. In my physical hardware, I have total 6 GB of RAM. That is a minimum I'm expecting in your machines. Okay, minimum 6 GB RAM. And in this minimum 6 GB RAM, if I power on my operating system, it will already consume around 2 GB RAM. So around 4 GB RAM is still available there. Now here I need to create a virtual server. Now, how to create a virtual server? See, this is your Windows machine. I'm using this machine, Windows 10 operating system. What I have to do here is, on top of this Windows operating system, I need to install a application. The application can be, there are multiple applications available, but the most famous applications what you see in every administrator's computers and laptop is Oracle virtual box, or the second one is VMware Workstation. You can go with this Oracle VirtualBox or you can go with this VMware Workstation. By using these two applications, we can create any virtual machine. So these are the applications. For example, if you want to browse internet, you need to have an application like Google Chrome or Firefox. Then you can browse the internet. For example, if you want to open a audio or a video file, you need to have an application like, a Windows Media Player or VLC Player or Real Player. There are different applications available. So to do a particular task, we need to install a particular application there, right? So either you can go with this Oracle VirtualBox or VMware Workstation. My recommendation is go with this Oracle VirtualBox. VMware Workstation, if you're having the original CD, original software, then you can go with this. The pirated software, I'm not promoting here. I don't want you to use any pirated software or pirated application. So better go with the Oracle VirtualBox, which is absolutely free. VMware Workstation is not free. It is free only for a certain period of time. After that, we have to pay money, or they will ask us to pay the money. So normally what people do, they just take any pirated version and they just try to use the VMware Workstation there. Okay. So either Oracle VirtualBox should be there or VMware Workstation should be there. But like I said to my friend, my recommendation is you need to go with your just a second. Yes. Let's go with Oracle VirtualBox. How to install, how to download, I'll explain you. I'll show you now practically. But right now, just go with this Oracle VirtualBox software. Done. See here. This is a VMware actually, which is already there in my machine. I'm not using this. I've just installed for some reason and see what it says. It is asking you to create a virtual machine. Virtual machine or a virtual server. The terminologies will be a bit different, but the meaning is same. So this is your virtual machine. Now I can create a virtual machine here by using Oracle VirtualBox or by using VMware Workstation. But like I said to my friend, I'm not using this. So I'm going with this Oracle VirtualBox. So I can use this Oracle VirtualBox. Here also it will show me or it will allow me to create a virtual machine. See, I'll go to machine and if I say new here, virtual machine name and operating system, I can just create a virtual machine here for my practical purpose. Okay. Now, how to download this Oracle virtual machine? From where we can download this Oracle virtual machine? I'll share all these links with you. But right now, can you see here? https:// something something www.virtualbox dot. This is the link actually. If I just copy this link and if I go to browser, I'll share the links and everything in our coming classes. So if I just go to this browser here, see, it says download your Oracle VirtualBox. You can see here, as of now, it is 7.1 version. Right now, the version that I'm using here is 7.0 version. So I can easily update it. But right now, it is 7.1 version. Can you see here? It is Windows host. So just select your host here, Windows or whatever, and the downloading will begin here. Can you see? It is downloading. It is approximately 117 MB. That is the size of your software. See, the downloading is completed now. Once the downloading is completed, what you should do? You just need to open that particular Oracle VirtualBox software and you need to install that particular software. Okay, I'm not installing because it's already installed there. Let me just see what it shows me. Accept, next, next. Okay, so I'm not going to do this because it's already installed in my machine, but I hope you understood how to install it. First, download it and just install it. So once you install this Oracle VirtualBox, it will come somewhere like this. I hope it is visible here. This is my Oracle VirtualBox. Okay, so then what I have to do, friends, I just need to open this Oracle VirtualBox here. Once I open, it will come somewhere like this. And here I can create my virtual machines. Okay, now let me just power off my existing machines actually, which are running unnecessarily. I've just connected to this machine by using different accounts, right? You can see Yuvraj here. You can see Sunita here as well as root. So I just want to power off. Okay, before I power off, let me show you a few things. Okay, wait a second, guys. How to know whether the laptop or a desktop that you are using is actually supported for the virtualization or not. See, every laptop or desktop is not supported for the virtualization technology. Virtualization is a technology which is a latest technology which is coming for last, let's say, 15, 20 years, obviously. But virtualization technology is not available in every laptop and desktop. Suppose if you are using a laptop or a desktop that is manufactured in last 5, 6, 7 years, I can say 99% cases the virtualization technology is available. But in case if you're using a laptop or a desktop which came maybe 10 years or 12 years before, maybe there is a chance the virtualization technology is not available then. Okay, so how to know, first of all, the virtualization technology is supported in your laptop or not? If the technology is not supported and if you're installing the Oracle VirtualBox, it will not work. Got the logic? If the technology is not supported in your machine, you cannot use the Oracle VirtualBox. Maybe the installation is done, but you cannot use it. So how to know whether the technology is supported or not? Very simple, your friend. Just right click on your taskbar and there is the option called Task Manager. I hope you know how to come here. This is a very common Windows tool, right? So just go to the Task Manager here. Now, once you go to Task Manager here, friends, go to this Performance option. And in this Performance option, you can see here. In my machine, can you see? Virtualization is enabled. You can see the same in your machine. Virtualization is enabled. In case if the virtualization is disabled, you have to enable the virtualization. So if it is disabled, no issues. Virtualization technology is available, but it is not in use. So that's the reason it says virtualization is disabled. Okay. So right now in my machine, virtualization is enabled. So once the virtualization is enabled, then only we can use this virtualization technology. Like I said, friends, if it is in disable mode, what you should do, you should simply enable the virtualization. You should simply enable the virtualization. Okay, I'll just wait here for like 30 seconds. Let's see what we can do after this 30 seconds. Okay, I have waited for like 15-20 seconds here because I was expecting one question from your side. Remember, I asked you to keep the chat box as busy as possible, friends. The question that I was expecting was, if the virtualization is disabled, how to enable it? That was the question I was expecting actually. Anyhow, if the virtualization is disabled, you have to enable the virtualization from where? From the BIOS settings. Every machine has a BIOS setting. So just enter into the BIOS setting. There the virtualization option will be available. Enable that virtualization and start your machine again. Clear? So we need to enable the virtualization technology there. After uh, enabling the virtualization technology, then only we can go with this Oracle VirtualBox, or either we can go with your VMware workstation. Got it? So now here, I have just started using this virtual server, right? I have just power on the server. And how many people are connected to the server? 3 people are connected to the server, right? See here, friends, when you use your Oracle VirtualBox, okay, and when you create a virtual machine, then the virtual machine will start using the resources. So what we have done till now, we have simply installed our Oracle VirtualBox here, right? Great. After creating or after installing the Oracle VirtualBox, the next thing what we have to do here is we have to create our virtual machines. Now, what is a virtual machine? Virtual machine is a combination of two things. Virtual machine is a combination of two things. One is your hardware. Obviously, hardware is needed. This is called virtual hardware. And the other one is your operating system. It can be Windows operating system or Linux operating system, doesn't matter. It is the combination of hardware and operating system. This is the virtual machine. But again, the basic question here is from where the virtual machine will take the hardware. Friends, what we have to do? When we are creating a virtual machine, we need to enter certain hardware settings there. Like what? For example, if I go to this virtual box here, and if I start creating my virtual machine here, I'm saying the name is, let's say, A, some name. I'll explain things in more details in coming sessions, but hopefully next session anyway. So I have just selected something there. I'm saying next year. Now see, it is asking me how much memory you want to add here. What is memory? Memory means RAM. So how much I have selected now? I have selected 2 GB of RAM. So I have to mention there like how much GB RAM I need, how many processors I need. And if I say next year, it will ask me like how much storage you need. So while creating a virtual machine, it will ask me all these questions. It will say, okay, you're creating a virtual server. So for this virtual server, how much RAM you need? So to run a Linux operating system, you know, the good thing here is this is more than enough. Remember the term what we used yesterday? Less footprint. Linux operating system will take less footprint. Less footprint means with the minimum hardware, we can run our Linux operating system smoothly. So 1 GB RAM you need to allocate here, my friend. That will be more than enough for you to run your operating system. But that will be sufficient. If not more than enough, it will be sufficient actually to run this Linux operating system. How much GB RAM? 1 GB RAM. Now the question here is when I'm creating a virtual machine, from where it will take that 1 GB RAM? You know what happens here? Once you say 1 GB RAM, the message from this virtual machine will go to this Oracle virtual box. From this Oracle virtual box, it will go to the Windows operating system. From this Windows operating system, it will go to the hardware and it will take 1 GB RAM and it will allocate this 1 GB RAM here. Remember, there is total 6 GB RAM. Out of 6 GB RAM, 2 GB RAM is already used by your Windows machine. Okay, so only 4 GB RAM is available. And from this 4 GB RAM, it is consuming this 1 GB RAM. It is consuming this 1 GB RAM. So how much GB RAM is available now? The 3 GB RAM is available now. So in this 3 GB, you can use your machine freely. This is the concept of virtualization, my friend. This is the whole concept of virtualization. So we just need to create a virtual machine there with minimum 1 GB RAM. Like I said you before, storage and CPU will not be an issue in 99.9 cases today. We have sufficient processor and we have sufficient storage available for sure. Okay. The only problem where you can face is with the RAM. So if you can provide at least 1 GB RAM, or if you want to go with like better performance, much better performance, go with 2 GB RAM. That's more than enough. Okay. So just allocate 1 GB RAM and the machine will work. Now, the next big thing I want to explain here is when the virtual machine is created, it will use the resources from your hardware. And on top of this virtual machine, we need to install the operating system, right? So when the virtual machine is running, then only it will consume the resources, my friend. I repeat, when the virtual machine is running, then only it will consume these resources. If you power off this virtual machine, it will not use any resource. Like for example, in my laptop, I can create 30 virtual machines. How much GB RAM is there? Only 16 GB RAM is there, right? But I can create how many machines? 30 virtual machines. But can I use all the 30 virtual machines at the same time? No. Imagine every machine I am allocating 1 GB, 1 GB, 1 GB. Can I use all the 30 machines? No. So what I have to do here is I have to use 3 machines, 4 machines at once. So once I power off the machine will release all the resources. When we power on the machine, it will use the resources. When we power off the machine, it will release the resources. So whenever you're practicing Linux server administration, you need to power on this virtual machine. It will start using this 1 GB RAM. But when you're not practicing anything, you're not powering on the virtual machine, right? You will not open the virtual box and you will not power on the virtual machine then. So if you're not powering on the virtual machine, this 1 GB RAM will not be used by your machine. It is just a normal computer that you have powered on. See, such a simple mechanism is this, right? So by using this simple method or simple mechanism, we can do all the practicals. So no one is having physical servers or multiple physical servers to do practicals. We just need to create this particular setup in our computer or laptop so that, we can do all the practicals that we need to learn. So take your machine, Install the Windows 10 and 11 operating system, which is already there. The only thing that we need to do here is download this Windows and download this Oracle VirtualBox and then create a virtual machine. How to download the Oracle VirtualBox, I have already showed you. How to create a virtual machine and how to install the OS, it will take one class again. So that most probably we'll say in tomorrow's session. But as of now, I hope you understood the overall concept of this virtualization. Okay, this is some brief introduction to virtualization, my friend. Virtualization is a very big concept that we need to see in cloud computing. Like I said, the backbone technology that we use in the cloud computing concept is actually the virtualization. Okay, maybe not this virtualization what we are learning now. It is only for practical purpose. The other virtualization is altogether a different virtualization. Okay, logic wise, it will remain same, but softwares and all the other things will be different. Okay, so now see here, friends, my machine is running here. My machine is running, the virtual machine is running here. So if I again go back to the task manager here, can you see the resources, how much resources it is using now? If I go to memory here, it says in use memory is 7.3 GB. It is in use. Okay, available is how much? 8.6 GB is available. That means approximately 8 GB in use, approximately 8 GB is still available for free. Remember, I have total 16 GB of memory, right? So out of 16 GB of memory, nearly 8 GB of memory is in use. Now let me do one thing. The virtual server that is currently running in my machine, I'll just power off this virtual server. Let's see what happens here. See, you can see here clearly. Let me just arrange everything properly here. Can you see here, friends? It is consuming 7.4 GB of RAM. 8.5 is still available. Now I will just go to this machine. I will just say power off. I am not powering off. I am not powering off my physical machine. I'm just powering off the virtual machine. Let's see what happens now. I said power off. So once I say power off, you can see clearly there the consumption has decreased. It is now 6.1 GB, less than 6 GB, right? It was using 7.5 GB, but now it is consuming how much? Less than 6 GB. 1.5 GB has been added back in my hardware. So once you start using your virtual machine, then only the resources are used. If you're not using the virtual machine, the resources will not be used. Okay, so normally if you want to use a laptop for your browsing purpose and some other stuff, you're not powering off the virtual machine, right? So it will not do anything there. See here, all the virtual machines right now in my physical machine, in my Oracle VirtualBox are, you can see clearly, powered off, and powered off. They are not running. But when I start the machine, it will again start consuming the resources. Done. So the consumption has gone down. Let me just close everything what is not needed here. Clear? I hope it is clear now what is this virtualization technology. Now how to install the Red Hat ISO image. This is a link available here, friends. But before we install the Red Hat ISO image, we need to create an account actually. Just create any account like you create an account in any social media or somewhere. So just copy this link. Let me just copy this link and show you. I'll copy. I'll go to browser. My account is already available there. So hopefully it will show me account credentials there. See, next class, that is tomorrow, I will create a Google Drive. And in this Google Drive, I will just try to, uh, share all the running documents or all the running notes every day with you. Whatever things I'm doing here, whatever things I'll be configuring there, I'll just try to show you everything there. I'll just try to share everything with you. Okay. So as of now, if you go to this link, what it says, create a Red Hat login ID. If you have this Red Hat login ID, then only you can install then only you can download your Red Hat operating system. The latest version, whatever you are interested in, you can just download that particular operating system there. Okay. So this ID should be there. And whenever you create any account, just go with this personal option here. Okay. Then enter your details, mail ID and all these things, create any login name, all the things you know very well actually. These are like, normally how we create any social media account or any mail account. It is something like this. Okay. And do one thing, please. Whenever you do any, whenever you're learning anything, especially you're learning, let's say, AWS or Linux or CCN, you're learning these three courses majorly, right? Just create a new mail ID for learning purpose. Do not use your regular ID. Regular IDs, you will get a lot of emails there. So keep your regular ID for your professional work, like mentioning in the resume and all these things. Here, just try to create a new mail ID. And with this new mail ID, create an account in AWS, create a Red Hat login account. And in CCN also, we need to have an account. So you can just create all your accounts by using this new mail ID. That makes more sense actually, right? Instead of using our existing ID, existing mail ID, just create a new mail ID there. Okay. So just enter all the details here, friends, and then create your account. After creating your account, what to do? We just need to go to this particular link, download link of RHEL, Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Let me show you how it looks actually. Come here. It will be something like this. If I say log in, I hope. Okay. I don't remember my mail ID, what I was using there. How it is this one? Okay, whatever. I'm not going to log in here. I don't remember the mail ID. I have created account. I have downloaded the image. I have just logged off there. Can I say test? Acha, this is here. These are my daughter names actually, Arfa and Rifa. Yeah, hopefully password is also that. Great. I'll remember this hopefully. So once I log in, that name Arfa and Rifa, actually that is the login name. My mail ID is something else, but that is a login name. Fine. See, I have successfully logged in here. Great. Okay, I'm using this mail ID, my regular mail ID, Shakeel cloud123@gmail.com. This is my regular mail ID. In case if you want to contact me for some other information like anything else, you can just contact me on this particular mail ID. Fine. Just download and just try to go there and look for your ISO image. That's it. See here, latest Red Hat Enterprise version 9.5. We are using 9.4, but this is latest. You should not use a very latest one. 9.4 is available for last 4, 5, 6 months actually. So better go with it. If 9.6 came maybe in last month or this month, you should not go with such a latest one because there will be some bugs and it will be still in updating process and all those things. Okay. So just come down here and just try to search for 9.4 version. Because like I said, that is what I'll be using in our class. So see here. This is 10. Oh, they have already released beta version of 10. No issues. But I'll go with this Red Hat version 9.4. Now, when you're downloading this, remember one thing here, my friend. When you're downloading this, use x86-64 version. Okay, there is a thing you should do. But see, there are two options here. There are two images you can see. One is with 991 MB, that is approximately 1 GB. And the other one is x86-64 DVD ISO image. And it is there with 10.32 GB. This is the image you need to download. You should not download which is in MBs. You should download which is in 10.32 GB. This is your actual image. So once I click on this download here, it will take around 5 to 10 minutes for me to download this particular image. So the image is already downloaded in my machine. I'm not downloading here, right? So I just want to show you all the possible steps that we need to follow to download your Oracle VirtualBox and to download your RHEL, the latest version. This is absolutely free. They will not ask you to pay money, right? It is free. Okay. Once you're done with this 9.4 version, you know what you can do? You can simply go with the older version, say 8.2 version. 8.2 version is how much? It is only 5.91 GB. So whatever configurations we are learning here in 9.4 version, just try to execute everything in 8.2 version. all the commands will work perfectly. Maybe there are certain commands where you will feel like, okay, the command is not working. You will get an error message there. So if you are getting the error message in a particular configuration, then go to the Google and see how to configure this in Linux 8.2 version. You will get all the details there. There's a way to, increase or update your knowledge. Learn one operating system perfectly, learn one version perfectly. The other versions, you can do it with ease. It will not be any problem for you. Done. So this is all you need to know about this Oracle VirtualBox, Red Hat ID, and the Red Hat download image. I have just copied everything here. So most probably, like I said you, I'll create a Google Drive for all the things that I need to share with you in the running classes. The recorded sessions will be shared by the management friends. I'll just try to share the running notes here. For example, if I go here, say like this, I'll share the running notes. Okay, let me show you the Linux classes. Mm, Linux 6 a.m. See, I'll be sharing everything like this. For example, if I do some service configuration, I need to explain you theoretically, then I need to show you the practical, something like this. Done? Fine. So with this, we are done with all the demos, and from tomorrow, our classes will be regular classes. Regular in the sense, whatever we have done in last 2 days and today, including today, that is 3 days. We have already started our Linux administration on Monday itself. But why I'm saying demos, because there are few people who have joined only for the demos for last 2 3 days. Other people, they are coming in either AWS or CCNA. They are already joined the course or joined the package. But I am specially referring to those people who just came only for this demo. If you're interested, my friend, you just need to register for this particular package. Then only management will share the link with you. Tomorrow they will change the link and they will share the new link with you if you register for this particular course. For remaining all the people who have already registered for this particular course in AWS package or CCNA package, you will definitely get a new link by today evening. Okay. So over to you now, friends. I'm here for couple of minutes. If you have any questions or anything to discuss, I'll be more than happy to answer everything. Okay. So this is the last. Let me save this. This is the last demonstration. From tomorrow, the link will change. Okay, so like I said, Linux is indeed the backbone of every technology. If you're planning to go in networking field, cloud computing, cyber security, DevOps, programming, coding, whatever you're planning to do, my friend, you cannot run away from the Linux administration. It will be super easy, super fun to learn the Linux if you just follow certain methods or if you follow certain procedure there. Okay, it will not be difficult for you to understand anything there. Okay, so don't worry, it's all about commands and all those things. Actually, commands make your operating system more easier to use. There will be a time very soon when you feel like commands are way better than the graphical console. Okay, so yeah, this is what it is, my friend. This is a session for, these are the three basic demo sessions that we need to cover. So I'm done with everything. I'm here for like 30 more seconds. If there is any question, we will see. If not, then we'll stop the session for today. And tomorrow, hopefully, we'll join the session again with a new link. Okay. And most probably we'll get few more students tomorrow. So let's see how it goes from tomorrow. I'm not going to stop the sessions now. I'll just try to continue sessions every day at the same time, 7 p.m., 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. That is our regular time. So most probably it will take another 35 days, 35 to 37 classes and days actually to complete this particular Linux administration. Okay. So that's it for the day, friends. That's it for the day and that's it for the demos. Good luck and hope to see you again tomorrow at same time, 8 a.m. India Standard Time with more and more details of our Linux server administration. Okay, done. So especially if I can name people like Nitin Patel, Satya Priya Das, Jahan B. I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly, my friend. I'm very sorry for this. Jahan B. Sharma. So especially three of you, you have not registered for any of this package. Remaining all the people are coming in some other package. So it's up to you to take the decision till today so that you'll get a link by evening and hopefully you can continue the sessions from tomorrow with the new link. Yeah, Nitin, you are coming in season, right? Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Okay, fine. So that's it for the day. Okay, there is a question here, like, will you tell commands about the Linux administration or Linux develop? See, for everyone, there are certain commands which you need to learn. Whether you're a Linux administrator or developer or a programmer or you're in cloud or you're in, let's say, ethical hacking, whatever, there are certain commands that you need to learn. So what we are learning is the Linux administration. The commands are common for everyone. It's not like we can specify or we can separately select administration there, or we can separately select commands for, a cloud administrator and something like this. Later on, maybe you may need to add few commands according to your job role, but you need to learn the skeleton. Once you know the skeleton, you can easily add the commands that you need when you go for a particular technology or when you work on a particular service. So we cannot keep in mind like, okay, this command is used here or this command is used here. No, we need to learn everything generally, the complete administration, the server administration. Then you will be in a position to add commands on your own. You know where exactly the command is available or how to look for a particular command or how to search for a particular command. All these things you will be learning in our regular classes. So it's not a way to go in that way. Just try to learn the Linux administration. Remaining things will come for sure. Okay, do we have classes on Saturdays and Sundays as well? Monday to Friday classes will be there. Some Saturdays I can take class. Sunday will be off for sure, but some Saturdays I can take class. Okay. So if there is a class on Saturday, I'll just inform you at least a day before or 2 days before so that you can, properly manage your schedule there and you can be available for the Saturday class. Most probably 5 days a week is our main intention here. If we can take 5 days a week, that's great. Okay, yeah, finally I got some questions here. Just try to keep the chat box busy, my friend, because your chat box will make sessions more interesting and we can just go a bit more deeper into our classes. Okay, fine. So that's it for the day, friends. That's it for the day. That's it for this demos and hope to see you again tomorrow at same time. Okay, take care, guys. Bye.